Cartoons? Safe? Kids' movies? Wholesome. That's the rule, right? Well, try telling that to the countries that banned Barney for being too controversial, or Peppa Pig for encouraging toddlers to play with deadly spiders. Not even E.T. got away clean, and that alien just wanted to phone home. This isn't about gore, or nudity, or swearing parrots. This is about children's content getting banned for reasons so weird, they sound like conspiracy theories your uncle would rant about at Christmas. So grab your juice box, hide your plushie collection, and focus, because by number 4, you'll be side-eyeing your kid's Netflix queue like it's a threat to national security. This movie teaches kids to love, so naturally it got banned. On the surface, E.T. is the softest sci-fi ever made. An adorable alien gets stranded, befriends a lonely boy, and becomes besties with a plant. How threatening can that be? Very, apparently. In Scandinavia, the movie sparked panic among parents, psychologists, and government officials. Why? Because E.T. portrays adults as the enemy. You know, the scary guys in hazmat suits, chasing kids through the woods. Authorities feared the film would cause mental damage to kids between 7 and 11. Yep, mental damage. From a glowing alien that heals wounds with his finger. So, in 1982, Sweden slapped a ban on kids under 11. Norway went further. No under 12s. Finland, you had to be at least 8 to even look at E.T. Meanwhile, kids protested outside theaters with signs like, "Away with the 11-year limit." It was adorable, and also historic. In the end, E.T. still became a European box office hit. But the bans live on as one of the most aggressively protective moves in movie history. It's the only time hugging an alien was seen as a public threat. Everyone knows Mickey Mouse. He's got giant ears, no pants, and somehow still feels more organized than most adults I know. But back in 1929, Disney dropped The Barnyard Battle, one of Mickey's earliest cartoons. In it, Mickey defends a barn from a group of angry cats, wearing these old-school, spiky German Pickelhaube helmets. You know, the kind straight out of World War I. Cute? Sure. Subtle? Not even a little. In 1930, Germany said absolutely not, and officially banned the cartoon. The reason? It insults the national dignity and honor of the German army, which is a very German way of saying, "We don't like your mouse slander." To them, Mickey wasn't just annoying, he was dangerous. They said he was a foreign threat to German youth, spreading un-German behavior and improper humor. Like, what even is improper humor? Is it because he smiles? By 1937, Disney cartoons were almost impossible to find in German cinemas. Mickey merchandise got pulled, stores stopped selling his stuff, and propaganda posters literally warned parents that Mickey could corrupt their children. But here's the twist. German kids loved him anyway. They secretly drew Mickey on notebooks. They passed around bootleg toys. One German publisher even got prosecuted in 1931 for illegally printing Mickey Mouse comics because demand was that high. It drove the authorities nuts. You know, they were like, "Hans, why does your child have a mouse on his lunchbox? It's a rat with good taste, Herr Lehrer." After World War II, the whole vibe flipped. Suddenly, Mickey wasn't banned. He was the symbol of American liberation. Disney movies flooded the country, and Mickey became a pop culture king in post-war Germany. The phrase Mickey Mouse was actually used as an insult. It meant something unserious, childish, basically the German version of calling something cringe. So yeah, Mickey Mouse was once banned for insulting German helmets, demonized for his laughing ways, secretly loved by children, and eventually reborn as a symbol of freedom. All that from a squeaky-voiced cartoon mouse with a slingshot. Honestly, that's more character development than half of Hollywood. This episode got banned for making kids too brave. Peppa Pig is basically a British national treasure. She jumps in muddy puddles, says oink, and teaches manners. So how did she get banned? Simple. She told kids not to be afraid of spiders. In Australia, that's not just bad advice. It's practically criminal. The episode Spiderweb aired in 2012. In it, Peppa calmly tells her brother George, "Don't be scared, spiders can't hurt you." Except in Australia, they 100% can. Like, kill you in your sleep levels of can. One concerned parent complained to the ABC network, and bam, the episode was banned. Permanently. In 2017, it even accidentally aired again, and the network had to apologize publicly. Peppa didn't just downplay spider danger, she practically gave them a PR campaign. So yeah, banned. Over one cheerful pig giving lethal arachnids a free pass. Other countries, no issue. But in Australia, they don't mess around with venom. This got banned for a sticker on a wall. This film looks innocent enough. It's animated, action-packed, and stars a teenage superhero trying to save the multiverse. What's not to love? Apparently, a background flag. In Spider-Man, across the Spider-Verse, there's a shot, just seconds long, of a Protect Trans Kids flag in Gwen Stacy's bedroom. There's also a small trans flag patch on her dad's uniform. That's it. No speech, no plot twist. Just visual support for LGBTQ+ youth. But in several Middle Eastern countries, that was enough to trigger a full-blown ban. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, and others pulled the film just days before release. Some had already sold tickets. No public reason was given, just vague comments about local values. The public reaction? Chaos. Fans were furious, social media exploded, and Gwen Stacy accidentally became a trans icon, despite no explicit statement from the filmmakers. Ironically, the movie made even more headlines thanks to the ban. The internet made it a cult hit, and the pastel hues in Gwen's scenes, they became the new trans-coded color palette. So yeah, this ban backfired. Hard. And now this Spider-Verse installment isn't just about saving worlds. It's also about flying straight into censorship like a boss. He's funny, he's feisty, he's got a sailor shirt and a temper problem, but one thing Donald Duck has never had, pants. And apparently that was too much for the Finnish government. In the 1970s, officials in Helsinki temporarily banned Donald Duck comics from public libraries. The reason? Quote, Donald doesn't wear pants and lives an unmarried life with his girlfriend. Yeah, someone really filed paperwork about that. The ban made headlines worldwide. People joked that Finland had gone full fashion police on a cartoon duck. The Finnish authorities later walked it back and claimed it was actually a budget decision. But the damage was done. Donald became an accidental symbol of moral panic. And here's the kicker. The guy who pushed for the ban later ran for office and lost because the pantsless duck scandal never left him. Meanwhile, Donald Duck went on to become a global icon and probably the most indecently dressed children's character to never face jail time. To this day, Finland's ban is seen as one of the silliest censorship moments in cartoon history. And honestly, it's kind of amazing it wasn't Mickey, because he just wears gloves and shoes. Imagine this, you're 10 years old, chilling with a bowl of cereal, watching Pikachu do his thing, when suddenly, you're hit with a seizure. This wasn't fiction. This really happened in Japan, 1997. An episode titled Denno Senshi Porygon, aka the one with all the flashing lights, featured a scene with rapid red and blue strobe effects. And not just cartoon flashes, like machine gun to the eyeballs flashes. The result? Over 600 children hospitalized with symptoms ranging from dizziness and nausea to full-blown seizures. News channels aired the clip that night and accidentally triggered even more seizures. It became known as Pokemon Shock. The response? Immediate ban. Not just in Japan, but later in Turkey, the Middle East, and parts of Europe, where networks yanked the show or delayed it out of safety concerns. Porygon, the digital Pokemon blamed for the fiasco, was basically erased from the franchise. And the irony, it wasn't even Porygon's fault. Pikachu launched the actual explosion. Since then, the Pokemon anime has never aired that episode again, and new episodes are now screened for light sensitivity. So yeah, the most wholesome show about friendship and catching creatures nearly sparked an international health crisis. And that's not even counting the parents who lost their minds over kids throwing Pokeballs at grandma. On paper, Crayon Shin-chan sounds like your average Japanese kid's cartoon. A cheeky 5-year-old, silly jokes, weird family moments. But the show's signature gag? Shin-chan drops his pants and wiggles his butt. A lot. Like, a lot. In Japan, it's harmless toilet humor. Kids laugh, merch flies off shelves, there's even Shin-chan butt candy. No, really, but internationally, total chaos. In India, Cartoon Network pulled the show after parents complained their kids were copying Shin-chan's bad behavior and butt dances. In the US and Spain, entire episodes were censored, blurred, or redubbed to remove the booty business. And in South Korea, it sparked debates over what's appropriate in family media. Sometimes the edits got so extreme, scenes didn't even make sense anymore, like cutting out all the jokes from a comedy. Imagine watching Mr. Bean with only the serious parts. Exactly. In countries where the show was banned or censored, fans protested, especially kids. In India, there were literal petitions to bring it back. Eventually, they aired a toned-down version. Fewer butts, more context. But the damage, or maybe the legacy, was done. Shin-chan became the ultimate naughty but lovable banned cartoon, now with global cult status. Turns out, nothing spreads faster than a tiny animated butt. This is supposed to be a spin-off of Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear, space, lasers, to infinity and beyond. You'd think the only danger here is existential dread from sentient toys. But nope, Lightyear became one of the most banned kids' films in modern history. Why? Because of a single kiss between two women. The scene is less than 3 seconds long, a quick peck between a space ranger and her wife. But in at least 13 countries, including the UAE, Egypt, Indonesia, and Malaysia, that was enough for an official ban. Some called it immoral. Others said it violated cultural values. Meanwhile, the original scene was reportedly cut by Disney during early edits, until Pixar employees protested and it was reinstated. So now we had outrage from both sides. In the West, people slammed Disney for even considering deleting it. In the East, governments refused to show the film unless the scene was removed, which Pixar refused to do. Online, it became a war zone of hashtags, debates, and viral think pieces. And the result? Lightyear still made money, still got praised, and the scene became a symbol, a small gesture that turned into a massive culture war over queer representation in kids' media. Turns out, the quietest kiss can make the loudest noise. Winnie the Pooh. The soft, honey-obsessed bear with the slow brain and big heart. Totally harmless, right? Well, not if you're the Chinese government. Back in 2013, people online started comparing China's President Xi Jinping to Winnie the Pooh. Not even in a mean way, just side-by-side memes like Xi walking with Obama next to Pooh and Tigger. And guess what? The Chinese authorities did not find that funny. They went full censorship mode. Images of Pooh deleted. GIFs of Pooh blocked, even the movie Christopher Robin, completely banned in China in 2018. No official reason, but everyone knew it was the bear. Suddenly, Pooh became a political symbol of protest, of mockery, of whatever the opposite of censorship is. People wore Pooh t-shirts during marches. Graffiti of his face popped up in Hong Kong, and this honey-loving bear turned into a kind of quiet rebel icon. So, yeah, Winnie the Pooh got banned in China. Not for violence, not for bad language, but because he looks too much like the leader of a country with zero sense of humor. Pixar's Onward is about magical elves, a dad made of legs, and a road trip with spells and emotions, basically super family-friendly, but then banned in places like Kuwait, Oman, and Saudi Arabia. Why? Because of one tiny moment where a side character, a female Cyclops cop, says,
"My girlfriend's daughter got me pulling my hair out."
That's it. One line. No kissing, no drama, just one word. Girlfriend. And that one word was enough for several countries to pull the entire movie. In Russia, they even changed it to partner so they could still show it. Honestly, most kids watching probably didn't even notice it. But when the ban hit headlines, the whole world suddenly noticed everything. Some parents were angry that Pixar even tried to include a queer character. Others were mad Disney ever considered cutting the line to avoid controversy. It became a whole thing, all over a blink and you miss it sentence. And the wildest part? The movie is literally about acceptance, about being yourself. And it got banned for doing exactly that. This purple dinosaur was too dangerous for Malaysia. Barney the dinosaur. He sings, he dances, he teaches kids to share. And in 1998, Malaysia said, "Not in this country." That's right. Barney's Great Adventure was officially banned in Malaysia. The reason? Cultural and religious sensitivities involving a pig. Yep, somewhere in the film, there's a harmless farm scene that features a piglet, and because pigs are considered haram in Islam, officials decided the entire movie was unfit for children. No explosions, no curses, just one oink too many. There weren't any massive protests or lawsuits, but globally, people were baffled. Because if Barney, a literal embodiment of I love you, you love me, can be banned, what hope is there for the rest of us? The ban was eventually lifted, but Barney never really recovered his rep in the region. He became the poster dino for harmless but banned. Talk about Jurassic overreaction. Shrek is the big green ogre who farts in mud baths, eats eyeball stew, and somehow became one of the most iconic characters in animation history. Seems innocent enough, right? Well, apparently not if you're a government official, a sensitive parent, or a pop star with no sense of humor. Let me explain. In Russia, as of 2025, politicians started calling Shrek a symbol of destructive Western influence. Their argument? That the ogre glorifies physical and personality defects and gives kids the wrong idea about what a hero should look like. They even claimed Western animation, yes, Shrek included, is part of a hybrid war to corrupt children through media. I mean, imagine sitting in Parliament and seriously saying the enemy is green and lives in a swamp. It gets weirder. In Israel, Shrek 2 got temporarily banned in theaters because of a joke in the Hebrew dub that mocked a famous singer. The guy sued. The movie got pulled. Eventually, they redubbed it and brought it back. But by then, the story had already become a national meme. In the US and UK, Shrek has been censored on kids' TV networks like Nick Jr. and Cartoon Network. Some jokes were cut, words were bleeped, but somehow a few curse words still slipped through, which caused a mini uproar on social media from confused parents like, did Shrek just say that? Even individual parents have banned Shrek in their homes. There are Reddit threads where moms say they don't let their kids watch it because it promotes bad behavior or gross humor. Which, okay, yeah, but that's literally the point. Despite all this, Shrek became a global meme god. He's now a symbol for breaking fairy tale stereotypes, accepting imperfections, and fighting back against, well, whatever society thinks a hero is supposed to look like. And in Russia today, Shrek is used in online discussions about censorship and freedom of expression. Like they tried to cancel him, and he became a freedom fighter. Not bad for an ogre who just wanted to be left alone in his swamp. So yeah, next time someone says, it's just a kid's movie, how bad can it be? Tell them about the pig that lied about spiders and the ogre accused of launching a culture war. Honestly, the wildest part isn't that these films and shows got banned, it's the reasons behind it. Too much butt, too much kindness, too much resemblance to a communist leader. Somewhere out there, a kid just wanted to watch talking animals and eat snacks. Meanwhile, a government was holding an emergency meeting like, this purple dinosaur is a threat to national security. And you know what? That's what makes kids' media kind of amazing. Because it's never just a cartoon. It's identity, culture, power. And yeah, sometimes it's poop jokes with global consequences. Anyway, I'm off to rewatch Shrek with a whole new level of respect. Thanks for sticking with me through this weird, ridiculous, and surprisingly political list of banned children's content. I'll see you in the next one. Just make sure your cartoons are state approved.